All right, welcome back to the Patriots Real-Time Report. This is a little bit of an informal Patriots Real-Time Report, getting ready for the Patriots-Browns game. And I want to talk about Christian Gonzalez, the big storyline of today. And Adam Schefter goes on the Pat McAfee show, and he says they aren't close. They've never been close. The Patriots are not willing to go to that Devon Witherspoon contract, and they're not willing to work off that deal. And to me, it's very confusing. Because Elliott Wolf, when it was announced that he was going to be leading things at the beginning of 2024, it was, well, this is a guy that comes from the Packers, and what's the Packers' way? Well, they draft and develop. Well, Elliott Wolf was here when the Patriots drafted Christian Gonzalez in 2023. And my question is, if you want to be a draft and develop team, then half the battle is drafting, half the battle is developing. Well, I guess that doesn't really make sense. But 1/3 of the battle is drafting, 1/3 of the battle is developing, and then the other third is retaining. It's said in that statement, doesn't start with a D, but it's very much a crucial part of the draft develop Packer way mantra. And if the Patriots don't want to pay Christian Gonzalez, then what are they? Because you look at the way this roster is built, and this isn't a flaw or a bad thing, but you look at their top wide receivers. Traded, free agent, Mac Hollins free agent, and Pop Douglas is drafted. Kyle Williams is drafted. But the top two receivers are free agents and trades. You look at how this team is built, and it's mostly through trades. Well, it's mostly through free agency, as my dog walks in here. So very informal. But it's very confusing to me why they don't want to sign him. And I think you have to sign Christian Gonzalez. You look at what he's done. Obviously an All-Pro in 2024. 2025, he's a Pro Bowler for the first time. You look at what he did in the playoffs. This is a true number one corner. These corners don't come around often. And it just doesn't stick to what they said they want to be. And maybe that changed a little bit with Mike Vrabel. And maybe Mike Vrabel doesn't truly love the way Christian Gonzalez played weeks 1 through 15. After Mike Vrabel sat there after, well, I guess he was standing, stood there after the after the Ravens game and said, we saw a different Gonzo. And maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe he didn't like weeks 1 through 15 Christian Gonzalez. Maybe he wants to see more, which I don't think is okay. You've seen Christian Gonzalez for 2 years now. You've seen him play and produce at a high level for 2 seasons, including being the best player on the field during the Super Bowl. Every time Christian Gonzalez gets matched up with a great player, a great player on the opposite side of him, he delivers. And I think that's enough, and you need to pay him. And the corner market is only going up. Wow, that took a while to get out. But the corner market is only going up. So next year you have Quinyon Mitchell. Next year you have Cooper DeJean. We don't know if he's going to be a cornerback, and slot corners don't get paid like that. But Quinyon Mitchell is going to increase the market. Maybe he'll get that $35 million AAV. Then, hey, now Gonzo wants $37 million. I don't understand. It's just smarter business to get the deal done now. I truly don't understand. Now, if they don't get the deal done, what's after? You can't just sit here and mope about it. You have to talk about what could happen, because it's all like, if I had to guess, I'd say 60-40, the deal doesn't get done by week 1, and that means the deal probably doesn't get done by the end of the season. So what does that mean? I think you have to think about trading Christian Gonzalez. And as much as that hurts to say, or as much as that hurts to hear, it doesn't really hurt to say, but I think it's a real possibility. And here's my theory. You're not just going to be able to draft the next Christian Gonzalez. You're not going to be able to draft the next Patrick Surtain. You're not going to be able to draft the next Quinyon Mitchell necessarily, but you could get a solid cornerback, a guy that could sit there and be your cornerback too. Maybe you trade with one of those teams that is projected to be good and then their quarterback goes down with an injury. Maybe it's been the Bengals the last few years, right? Maybe you get a trade completed with them. You get the 14, 15, 16 pick in the draft. You take the cornerback 2, cornerback 3, maybe even cornerback 1 if it's a bad cornerback draft. But it's one of the best drafts that we've seen in a while. So maybe that cornerback 1 falls a little bit, who's maybe in last year's draft, he goes with the 5th pick in the draft, the 6th pick in the draft, but this year he goes with the 14th. You trade Christian Gonzalez for 2 first-round picks. I think it's on the table. Do I want to do it? No. I think you just need to extend the guy, because at the end of the day, that's what's best for the football team. And yes, maybe 2 first-round picks end up being the next Lawrence Taylor and the next Ty Law, but they could also end up being the next Kayvon Thibodeau, not that he's the worst player in the world, but the next Kayvon Thibodeau and the next Emmanuel Forbes. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Just wanted to get my thoughts off. Very informal. My dog Ellie kind of intruded on this video, but it is what it is. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Christian Gonzalez. I think you need to pay the guy. If they don't, maybe they trade him. those are my thoughts. This was the Patriots Real Time